This video connects last week's research methods to this week's practical analysis workflow using the shared CampusLink study. Last week, you planned ways to collect evidence from people and situations. A survey usually gives structured responses that we can count or compare. Interviews and observations give richer material, such as statements, actions, pauses, and context. These forms of evidence answer different kinds of questions. A survey can show how many people selected a rating. An interview can help us understand how a person reached a decision. Both need careful organization before we compare them. Analysis is a structured transformation of research material into evidence that we can inspect and compare. It does not mean changing what participants said to fit our preferred answer. First, we clean the material by checking duplicates, missing answers, and identifying details. Next, we organize it into consistent units. Then we compare units across responses or participants. Interpretation comes after those steps. The goal is to make our reasoning visible, traceable, and open to correction. Imagine 3 raw records from the same study. A survey row may contain a rating of 4, a blank answer, and a comment that mentions 2 different issues. An interview response may include filler words, a story about finding the app, and a judgment about whether the app helped. An observation note may include the time, a pause, a reread, and the researcher's guess about what the pause meant. These records cannot be compared until we separate the response, the context, and the interpretation. Our imaginary shared case is a campus technology called CampusLink. It combines event discovery, study group matching, and basic campus service information in one mobile app. A student research team wants to learn what affects first-time acceptance of CampusLink. Their study question is, how do students decide whether CampusLink is useful and easy enough to keep using after a first task? The team collected 24 survey responses and conducted 14 semi-structured interviews. We will use this case for the rest of the lesson. The survey used a 1 to 5 agreement scale, where 1 meant strongly disagree and 5 meant strongly agree. It asked 5 questions. The items covered use frequency, perceived usefulness, perceived ease of use, intention to use again, and 1 open comment. Questions 2 through 4 used the agreement scale. The first question used 4 frequency categories, and the last question captured a helpful or difficult moment in the participant's own words. We also recorded whether each respondent had used a similar campus app before. This compact instrument gives us numerical material for summaries and open text for later qualitative comparison. The 14 interviews followed the same broad path. Students described how they first found CampusLink, attempted 1 task, interpreted the feedback on the screen, and decided whether to continue. The interviews are labeled Participant 1 through Participant 14. We will not treat one memorable quote as the whole dataset. Instead, we will examine small units from all 14 interviews. For example, Participant 3 said, "I found the event, but I checked the student group page before I trusted the time." Participant 8 said, "I knew where to tap, so I finished without checking anything." These statements may belong to different patterns, and the second may become an exception to a broad first-use pattern. Now we have the practical question that begins analysis. What should the team do with 24 rows of survey data and 14 interview transcripts? For the survey, we will clean, count, summarize, and compare. For the interviews, we will familiarize ourselves with the full material, create meaningful units, code them, compare codes, build themes, test patterns, and look for exceptions.